You're watching Channel 35 Municipal Cable, one of the Woodbridge channels.
Welcome to the 30th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Woodbridge. With me is Charlie Shaughnessy, Jim Durick. Charlie?
Well, this is our 30th parade, as John has stated, and this year we have well over 100 groups participating, including 16 bands, at least half bagpipe bands, and I'm sure you'll enjoy the parade brought to you by Television 35. Thank you.
Jim?
And John, for our 30th annual parade here, we do have a beautiful day. We've got no rain, we've got no snow. It's a little windy, and we'd like to congratulate our honorees, Grand Marshal Jimmy Carroll, who's a councilman here in town, our Irish Person of the Year, Sister Susan McGrath, who I think actually arranged for this weather. She said she put a couple extra prayers in. Miss American Irish, Teresa Campbell, and her lady-in-waiting, Kelly McCaffrey. It should be a beautiful day, and we're looking forward to it. Have a good time.
Gentlemen, well, you get to go inside out of the wind, and we'll talk to you a little bit.
Okay, John. Thanks a lot.
Mrs. Abruzzo, I'm here with the Neighborhood Watch. Yes. Yeah. Oh, no. I'm signing up people for the Neighborhood Watch.
Our dreams come true. You have your cameras here? Where are you going, Mr. McMahon?
I'm going to check with the lady next door. Yeah, thank you.
Start a Neighborhood Watch. It's just one of the many ways you can help make America stronger. To find out how, call or log on for this free guide.
To a child, a little of your time can make a lifetime of difference. That's why the Greenville Family Partnership sponsored a hike, because kids with something to do are less likely to do drugs.
Standing right in front of them.
Whether you're a good storyteller or a good listener, you can help. To find out about community drug prevention programs, call toll-free 1-877-KIDS-313.
I can keep a kid off drugs.
Hi, everybody. This is Jim Durick, and along with Charlie Shaughnessy and our man on the street, John O. Eberhart, we'd like to welcome you to the 30th Annual St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Woodbridge Township that's sponsored by the American Irish Association of Woodbridge. Fortunately, we have a beautiful day today. As we said earlier, it's a little windy, as you can tell by the flag bearers, by the honor guard, the way the wind is moving out there, but no rain, no snow, and the temperature is pretty good.
And coming into view is the Islin Volunteer Fire Company 1, located on Green Street, Islin, New Jersey.
And as typically, Charlie, as you know, the parade is always escorted by the Woodbridge Township Police Department, and they are followed by the Marine Corps League John Basilone Detachment, and they're a veterans organization. And as you indicated, Charlie, the Islin Volunteer Fire Company, number 1, District 9, their color guard.
Chief is Edward Mullen. Ed's been a fireman. I know him personally, so I know he's been a fireman for many, many years. And they say the group consists of 20. The president is William F. Kenny. And I think this is unusual. This is the first time we had a fire department in the front, right, Jim?
Charlie, I think you're right. And the Honor Guard unit looks particularly fine. They're doing a very professional-looking job out there, and they're followed by a number of their sparkling clean and green fire trucks. Everybody all decked out in green carnations and ribbons on the trucks.
And they follow our rules, limited of 3 fire apparatus. So I see 3, so they can be judged. We were saying before, Sister Susan prayed for clear weather. And it is clear, but she should have prayed that there's no wind. So next year we got to tell her that. Say, not only clear, but no wind.
I'm sure she's going to work on that.
And this group coming into view is the Marine Corps League John Basilone Detachment, and they're from Paulding, New Jersey.
And they're under the leadership of Mel Mazzaros. It's a Marine Corps Color Guard, a veterans organization. And Charlie, this is a group I think that's marched with us for a number of years.
The Basilone group, yes, absolutely.
And as we can see in the camera right now, there's a lot of people lining the street on this beautiful day. There's a little leprechaun.
Especially the Gazoo band. I wonder where they're going to be in the parade, the Gazoos. And as we were saying before, this is the 30th parade. It's amazing when I think back of when this was an idea of a few of our members that we wouldn't go to the Newark parade. We'd start our own. And there were a few non-believers, but here we are 30 years after the fact, and it's still going strong.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing, Charlie. We're talking about 3 decades, and actually one of the members who announces the parade from the viewing stand, Justin McCarthy, apparently was one of the first parade chairmen. This year's parade chairman is Ken Stiles. I think this is about the 4th time that Ken has chaired the parade. He's really got it down to a science. His co-chair is Bill Donovan, and I know that Ken, Bill, and the entire committee worked very hard starting around September to get this parade organized and to get it on the street. And Charlie, it involves raising a lot of money, right?
Oh yeah, we do a lot of affairs to help raise the money that costs to put the street parade on the street. And coming into view is the pipes and drums of the Jersey Shore Shillelaghs. That's a mouthful to say, isn't it, Jim? Yeah. Pipes and drums of the Jersey Shore Shillelaghs.
They represent the friendly sons of the Shillelagh of the Jersey Shore under the leadership of Drum Major Paul Mueller and Pipe Major John Giblin. They'll be the first of many pipe bands we'll see here today. And as they come into view, and hopefully they'll warm up, get a little tune going with the bagpipes there for the benefit of our viewers.
Yeah, they were founded, or organized in 1998. And they wear the Irish national tartan. That's their uniform.
And Charlie, do you think they've added kazoos to their marching contingent, or?
I hear them, so I guess.
Here come the pipes. Let's listen in a little bit. Okay, and now we have coming into view our honorees for this, our 30th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade. There's our Grand Marshal, Charlie, Jim Carroll.
With his new walking stick.
Councilman Jim Carroll is our Grand Marshal this year. Many of you probably know that Jimmy is currently a councilman here in town, as well as former council president. The Governor Jim McGreevey, I understand, is present. There he is. Came in from Trenton to march with his very special, very favorite and Woodbridge crowd. Is, I'm sure everyone recalls, Jimmy was mayor here for a number of years, as well as a state senator.
Bill Donovan just passed co-chairman.
Is our mayor, Frank Pelsman. I see the mayor from Perth Amboy, Joe Voss. So
Donna
Councilman
Jago.
Rick Delina, there's Mayor Frank Pelsman, and Governor Jim McGreevey.
Carol Ehrlich, she's a councilwoman at large.
I see Assemblyman Joe Wisniewski, Senator Joe Vitale. There's Assemblywoman Arlene Frisha riding in the car. Waving to the crowds. I started to say, Charlie, that actually our Grand Marshal Jim was born in County Jersey City. That's a county of Ireland, isn't it? Or
It's the 33rd county. That's where
I always thought that.
County of Hudson.
He's very active in the community, president of Bishop George Our Father's Club. Nobody could be prouder to be Grand Marshal. Charlie, we've got the Rockland Scottish Pipes and Drums, the second of a number of our bagpipe units.
They were organized in 1963. George Fraser is the pipe major. And it's our group.
The American Irish Association of Woodbridge Township, who sponsors this parade and who works very hard, as I indicated, Chair Ken Stiles, co-chair Bill Donovan, and really the entire association in putting this parade on the street for 30 years in a row now, Charlie.
Right, 30 years this parade's been in existence, and I see Jimmy Nolan and his wife carrying a banner, and behind them is Mark Lewis and other officers of our organization.
Mark Lewis is currently the president of the organization. Vice President Joe Ward, Recording Secretary Diane McGovern, Corresponding Secretary is John Reitman, Financial Secretary Eileen Jascott, our Treasurer and Treasurer for Life is Tom Henderson, Sergeant-at-Arms Bill Donovan, and Chaplain Joe Fennelly. And we've got a number of former Grand Marshals and officers marching. There's Sean Keaveney with his appropriately green beard for St. Patrick's Day here today. We have a member playing the Irish tin whistle. Is that a tin whistle, Charlie?
Some sort of a flute. There's Bishop Patrick Joe Fennelly, who will be 80 in July.
And what would a St. Patrick's Day parade be without St. Patrick? And again, we still see a number of the American Irish.
Margaret was step dancer.
St. Patrick.
That's our membership walking behind. I see my daughter-in-law, Joanne, and my granddaughter, Kylie.
Your daughter, Maureen.
Maureen and Dan.
My mom is in that mix somewhere. I got to give honorable mention to Terry Durek, whose maiden name was Terry Owens.
That's Connie O'Donnell. He's one of our lead singers, the Irish tenors in our organization.
You know, Charlie, we didn't get much opportunity really to mention, in addition to Jim Carroll, our Irish Person of the Year is Sister Susan McGrath. Sister Susan was born in Ireland in County Donegal, which is, for those of you who know something about Ireland, is up at the northwest corner. She grew up on a farm there with 9 siblings, and she now is very active at the Emmaus House in Perth Amboy, and you can't say enough about Sister Susan. She does a lot of good, works very hard out of Emmaus House, and has an Irish heart of gold. In addition, she arranged the weather.
Yes.
Today, right?
Right. She's the one that brought the sunshine, but kept the wind, so we can't have everything. But one thing I was amazed at, I just found out the other night that Sister Susan was a nurse originally, then became a nun.
And now we have in view our Miss American Irish for this year, Teresa Campbell. Her lady in waiting is Kelly McCaffrey. And with them is the Miss American Irish from last year. Actually, our Miss American Irish, Teresa Campbell, has the interesting goal. And she said this a number of times. Her long-term career goal is to play professional basketball for the WNBA. So, Teresa, we wish you a lot of luck.
And last year's Miss American Irish was Katie Warren, who was also in the car with Teresa and Kelly.
Kelly McCaffrey is from Metuchen. She's a sophomore at Bishop Barr High School and is very active in the Christian Social Club. She plays varsity soccer, and she's here with her family as well.
And there's our float that was made by Miss Sinatra. Alice Goodhart, her marriage name is Sinatra, but she puts that float together all the time.
Every year, our member Alice Sinatra and a group of her friends, they come together, they put together our American Irish Association float. Charlie, here's a very special group that's coming into view right now, and this is Project Children. One of the most active members of Project Children is also a very active member of our club, and that would be Dot Ashton.
This is the 28th year Project Children has been bringing over children from the troubled areas of Northern Ireland. And so far they brought over 14,000 children. And they come for 6 weeks vacation in the United States, and they go back a better person for being here. And Kent Stiles always has one or two that he takes into his home, and other members of our organization take them in.
I believe they bring the children here for 6 weeks in the summer, Charlie?
It's 6 weeks.
Just to get away from Northern Ireland. And even though things have calmed down somewhat, there's still periodic strife there.
And they were organized in 1975.
And Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, coming into view right now is the Legionnaires Marching Band.
I think they've been with us since day one from Carteret. They're a great group.
And they march with their color guard and the band as well. Bandmaster David McGarrett's. Apparently, they've traveled across the country to attend several conventions.
And they started their band in 1961. And this is the Central Jersey Leathernecks.
They're Marines and former Marines veteran organization under the leadership of Detective Commandant John Patterson. Sounds like an Irish name to me, Charlie.
I believe that is. And they were organized in March of 1994. And the group that just went by was the North Jersey Chapter 82nd Airborne Division Association. They were organized in 1944.
And they're under the leadership of Chairman Gary Zente.
The next group in view is St. Cecilia's Cub Scout Pack 49, and they're from Avenel, New Jersey.
Actually, I think they're associated with St. Cecilia's in Islin, Charlie, if I remember. And that was the Cub Pack that I belonged to a few years ago. 20 years ago, maybe. And that was the first of many Cub Scout, Boy Scout, Girl Scout, and Brownie packs that we'll see throughout the parade.
Yeah, it says here that Jim Durick never got a badge. It says it here, really, on the bottom. It says,
They're going to give me a special one for working all these years with you as my co-announcer here.
the director is from Avenel. I said Avenel, but they're from Island, but the director's from Avenel.
And in view right now are the St. James cheerleaders, and St. James is a parish and school right here in downtown Woodbridge, New Jersey, and actually right up the street, up Main Street on the corner of Main Street and Route 35. They're under the leadership of Lori Marciniak. She's their director.
And they compete in local tournaments. And last year they competed at Great Adventure. And the JV cheerleaders won second place state competition.
And they go by the name of St. James Wildcats. So we would like to welcome you to the parade. They're followed by Post 87 American Legion. We're going to go out on the street right now to John Eberhart, who I understand is with Mayor Pelsman.
Oh, Pelsman.
Thank you, Jim. With me is Mayor Pelsman. Mayor, we had a great day for the parade.
Were we lucky or were we lucky? Well, with Jimmy Carroll as a Grand Marshal, we have nothing but luck. Sister Susan McGrath as the Irish Person of the Year. How could we go wrong? But as I said it earlier at the flag raising, wouldn't make any difference if there was sun or not. The way Jimmy Carroll has been smiling, there would have been sun beaming today anyhow. But thanks to all the people that came out, a great, great crowd along the parade route. The weather turned out very well, and we're just pleased that everything went so well.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Back to you, Jim.
Thanks, John, and thank you, Mayor Pelsman. As Mayor Pelsman indicated, we had a flag raising earlier this morning at Council Chambers, and he served graciously as our MC. And as usual, it was a nice event in Chambers, and then we go outside, Charlie, to raise the Irish flag.
Where Justin sang the Irish national anthem and our national anthem for the United States, and always does a great job doing that. And we had a pretty good crowd this morning. You know,
Very nice crowd.
and you know, Pelsman does have a sense of humor. After all this snow,
Okay, we're going to go back out on the street with John O. Eberhart, who is with Assemblyman John Wisniewski. John?
Thank you, Jim. With me is Assemblyman John Waziski. We got a gorgeous day. I had mentioned to the mayor, a little cool, but nicer than our holiday parade we had a while ago.
The weather today is fantastic. The sun always shines on the Irish. And with Jim Carroll as our Grand Marshal and Sister Susan McGrath as our Irish Person of the Year, it couldn't be a better day.
Well, they keep getting plugs, both Jim and the sister. But yeah, we do have a gorgeous day here. And
Well, they asked me to give them plugs.
okay, and apparently I had mentioned that to the mayor too. We do have a great day here. And is there anything special you noticed about the parade this
Well,
year?
I think there's a lot of enthusiasm. The young children, especially, to see them marching, whether they be cheerleaders or step dancers or Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts, are all very enthusiastic, not just because of their Irish heritage, but because Woodbridge Township is such a wonderful place.
Thank you. And back to you, Jim. Thank you.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Assemblyman Wisniewski.
passing in view now is the Union County Irish Association.
Charlie, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Kitty Ford is the leader of this organization.
And this is a big supporter every year of our parade. Is that right?
Everything we do, they support us as we support the Union County. Like next week is their parade, next Saturday the 15th.
And in fact, marching with them and should be right behind them is the Union County St. Patrick's Day Parade Committee under the leadership of Stephen Gallagher, who is the general chairman this year, and William Neefsey, the adjunct.
And their Grand Marshal is John Langan for this year, 2003. And Joe Cryan, of course, is involved with that group. I think he may have started it.
And coming into view right now is the third of our pipe bands, and This group are the Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh Pipes and Drum, under the leadership of Pipe Major John Hatton.
They're from Woodbridge.
And Charlie, apparently last year in Dublin, Ireland, they won the best bagpipe band, which is quite a distinction when you figure you pick up an award like that over in Ireland.
Oh, yeah.
Let's listen in. Charlie, and this is the New Jersey State Board of the Ancient Order of Hibernians, which is an Irish organization that formed many, many years ago.
They were organized in 1900, and the leader is Bill Young. He's the state president. State treasurer, Jim Donovan.
Oh, you're a mess.
And they have quite a fine turnout, and everybody decked out in a sash with the tricolors. There's one of our former Grand Marshals, Willie Donovan, who is on the Okay, we return to John on the street and Councilman Bob Luban, who is councilman from the 5th Ward.
With me is Councilman Bob Luban.
Good to be here, John. I'm enjoying myself today. It's a nice, frisky day. It's a balmy day, as everybody can see. The wind's blowing great, and the parade is simply great today. I wish you folks were here today to see it. It really is something. I'm really enjoying myself, and our Grand Marshal, Jimmy Carroll, who's from the council, he's enjoying himself tremendously today, John.
Oh, he is. This is sort of almost his parade.
This is a big treat for him. He really enjoys it. And no, everyone's Irish today. I think you're O Eberhart, and I'm O Luban today, right?
Absolutely.
Everyone have a great day. Good to talk to you all.
Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Bob Luban, who, as I said, Charlie, is from our ward, the Colonial Ward.
5th Ward. In view is the Woodbridge Corvette Club under direction of Rita Goldstein.
You know, Charlie, this is another group. It's kind of a novelty group, but I think that they've been with us for, I don't know, is 10 years or so. And
I guess since 1978, which is the year they were organized. So I guess since 78, I know they've been here for many, many years. And it amazes me how they always look so great, these cars. And there's so many of them.
everybody gets them all shined up and decks them out in green garland and green shamrocks and green ribbons. Of course, the children along the route love all the candy that comes flying out of the cars as they pass by. Okay, we're going to go back on the street for a minute with John Eberhart, and with him is Councilman Rick Delina and Councilwoman Carolyn Ehrlich. John?
Thank you, Jim. Councilwoman Carol Ehrlich?
Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today is just a beautiful day, and I think we ought to keep Sister Susan the Irish Woman of the Person of the Year every year, because I'm sure she's responsible for this weather. And a lot of congratulations to my friend and colleague, Jimmy Carroll. He deserves to be Grand Marshal, and he's just been smiling for a month, and I hope that smile lasts for the rest of his life. It's been a great day.
The smiling Councilman Jim Carroll. Rick Delina?
Thank you, John. I just like to wish all the Irish the best of the luck, Erin go bra, and my friend Jimmy Carroll, who, like Carol had said, he's in his glory and he deserves it. He's the Grand Marshal of this parade, and I'm honored to be marching in the parade with my good friend Jimmy Carroll, and God bless everybody for a great day out here.
Thank you, Councilman. Back to you, Jim.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Councilman Delina and Councilwoman Ehrlich. And Rick Delina even knew a little bit of Gaelic, Erin go bra.
Yeah, well, his father taught him well.
Ireland forever, right, Charlie?
That's right. This is the Union County Police Fire and Pipes and Drums. This also begins the 2nd Division, Jim. And there's 6 divisions, so this is the 2nd.
And they lead, as Charlie said, the 2nd Division. They're under the leadership of their founder and Pipe Major, Ed Donnelly. Apparently, their kilt has some history to it. It's a McNaughton dress, red for fire, blue for police, and green for Ireland. And they are followed by the Perth Amboy Fire Department, who were organized back in 1881. Perth Amboy being a neighboring town of our town here in Woodbridge, Charlie.
Yeah, that was used to be called George Atlowski Country, Perth Amboy, years ago. Anybody that's been with this parade knows, or for a couple of years anyway, knows George Atlowski.
And for the past, I think, elected to a 3rd term is their mayor, Joe Voss, who marched with us here today. And I think we see him fairly regularly at our parades here in town. And I'm sure that's a number of dignitaries with the Perth Amboy Fire Department. And again, one of many fire departments that we will see here today. They're out in their dress blues and appropriately dressed with green carnations. Or some of them are carrying green carnations, as we can see in our camera now. Charlie, one thing I mention, every year about parades are St. Patrick's Day parade that the American Irish sponsors and the Christmas parade that's done here in town is the number of volunteer organizations that come out. The firemen, the Boy Scout groups, the Cub Scout groups. We're going to see DARE a little later on, and really all the people that volunteer to, in many respects, keep our community safe, like the firemen, but also afford all of the children here in town an opportunity, so they're involved in scouts or involved in sports or something like that. And it's always a good time to display of what community is all about.
Yes, I think Woodbridge definitely has one of the best communities in the state, and I think Jim McGreevy, the governor, can't say enough about Woodbridge. And now, especially with the recreation center, I mean, that really is tremendous.
And it is a beautiful recreation center. And here's a Girl Scout troop.
Crosstown Service Unit.
And one of 3 of their flags were made for New York.
And the leader is Judy La Turonis. She's the service unit director. She deserves a lot of credit. I don't know who she is, but she deserves a lot of credit.
And it looks like the flag that the girls made is the original Old Glory with the stars in a circle. I'm sure there was plenty of work effort that went into that. And they're followed by Brownie Troop. It looks like we have a couple of different groups together there, Charlie. And this particular group is from Seawarren, which is one of the sections of Woodbridge Township.
And one of the 9 sections like we talk about every year.
Every year we got Woodbridge proper, Fords, Island, Colonia, Hope Lawn, Port Reading, Seawarren. Help me out here, Charlie. Avenel.
Keysby, or Caysby, whatever they call it.
Okay, John, we're going to take it to you on the street with our honorees, Grand Marshal Jimmy Carroll, and our Irish Person of the Year, Sister Susan McGrath. John?
Thank you, Jim. Sister, here we are on a beautiful day. Everybody's giving you credit for the lovely day we have today.
Well, I'm really glad that I'm getting the credit. I mean, you take all you get while you can. This is a special day. Go for it.
Absolutely. And Sister, this is your first year as being the Irish Person of the Year for the parade?
Yes, this is my first year, and I am so honored. I am just delighted. I mean, how can it get better that you're chosen as Irish woman, Irish Person of the Year, being Irish? It's just the best. My family are thrilled beyond words for me.
And I'm surrounded with all the honorees. With me also is the Grand Marshal, Councilman Jim Carroll.
Thank you, John. As Sister said, it's just an honor to be named the Grand Marshal of the Irish Person of the Year, and we're really enjoying it. The crowd has been great. The weather has cooperated.
Yes.
It's just been a wonderful day, and I'm kind of hoping it doesn't end, actually.
And for today, I understand my name is O. Eberhard.
Yes, absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And we'll adopt you today, John.
Thank you.
Yes.
Back to you, Jim. Thank you.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Jimmy Carroll, and thank you, Sister Susan. And Jim, I don't know if you really have to worry about it ending today. Charlie, as Mayor Pelsman said this morning, that the Irish have a tendency to extend this day into a week, into a month, and sometimes into a full year. So, Jim, you got plenty of time left to march. And have a good time. Enjoy your day. Sister Susan, enjoy your day as well. Now we have in view one of the 3 marching bands that we're going to see from Woodbridge Township here, and this is Woodbridge High School, the Marching Barons.
Leadership is Nancy Gross. Drum majors are Anita Curry, Jamie Sack, and the band will be performing in Toronto, Canada on May 11th this year. Hey, Jim, before that flag that went by, that's a 7-foot by 11-foot American flag, which Terry Terrific, that's her lady's name. She's 67 years of age, and she crocheted this flag using 370 balls of yarn, which weighed 87 pounds. And it took her 3 months to make that flag. Remember the one we saw?
Charlie, in view right now are the St. Cecilia's Assembly and Council of the Knights of Columbus, and they're from Island, New Jersey, one of the sections of Woodbridge Township here, under the leadership of Dan Naroda, who is their faithful navigator, and Grand Knight Joe Lamagna, and Ed Delaney. We always have a good turnout from Knights of Columbus.
Bill Winship. He always marches.
We have another Boy Scout troop here, Boy Scout troop number 31 from Port Reading, New Jersey, under the leadership of Jeff Solowski.
Osolowski today.
Osolowski. Okay, we're going to go back to the street again, and John Eberhart. And with him is Mayor Joe Voss of Perth Amboy and the aide to our Grand Marshal, Jim Nolan.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Charlie. With me is, I guess Jim had mentioned, Mayor Voss and Jim Nolan, the aide to the Grand Marshal. Mayor Voss, we got a gorgeous day. We give Sister Susan credit for it, but we're having a great day here at the parade.
The sun gods are certainly here in Woodbridge Township today, and that's a credit to Jimmy Carroll, the Grand Marshal, who is very deserving of the honor today.
Thank you. I can't believe Jimmy Carroll's not getting credit for the weather. Jim?
I'm just thrilled to be here with my buddy Jimmy Carroll, enjoying a beautiful day with my family out here and all the citizens of Woodbridge having a great time.
Thank you. Back to you, Jim and Charlie.
Thank you, John, and thank you, Mayor Voss and Jim Nolan. We have another one of our scout groups marching here, Pack 31 from Port Reading, New Jersey. Charlie, you know, we had during one of the interviews, another group that had marched was the Irvington Junior ROTC that has been with us for a number of years and have won a number of competitions, not only nationally, but I think even internationally. They're always a fine group. You know, one of the things that we were talking about earlier is a lot of viewers and maybe our participants don't understand that we do like to interview the honorees and some of the other dignitaries, and Channel 35 works very hard to make sure that we have good parade coverage and that we also get an opportunity to speak with the honorees. So believe me, the television crew here, Lee Beckerman, everybody is working hard to get as much as the parade in as possible. And just bear that in mind.
And while we got a moment, we want to thank High Grade Beverage, who's one of our sponsors. They came into our parade, I think, 2 years ago and have helped support us since that time. So thanks for your participation and contributions to our parade. And that's High Grade Beverage from South Brunswick.
That's right. It takes a lot of money in addition to time and effort to put the parade on. I know it runs into several thousands of dollars, and we appreciate the help of High Grade Beverage and Rich Gannon. We also appreciate the help of all the sponsors that buy an ad in our ad book. Joe Ward is the member who puts that together year in, year out, and we have a number of advertisers, a number of business entities here in the community. We want to thank all of you for your support as well, because without it, we would not be possible to put this parade on. In addition, Mayor Pelsman, the council, the Recreation Department, John Eberhart, the Woodbridge Police Department. It's a lot of effort to go into putting this parade on the street.
One of our sponsors every year is Hutton Shemanowitz, the Club of Woodbridge, Cryans.
And now we see a Carteret Fire Department truck. It's passing into view. And they're followed by, and in view right now, the Woodbridge Fire Department, Charlie. It was founded way back in 1897.
And Carteret was 1893. What if the trucks are that old? What do you think? I believe this is Richmond County Pipes and Drums. And Dan Powers is the chief of the Woodbridge Fire Department.
And a fine turnout from the Woodbridge Fire Department, decked out in their green carnations.
There's Charlie Kenny, Captain Kenny,
who is president of the council here in Woodbridge. Charlie's been a councilman for a number of years, and he is the council president.
Kenny Gardner. Uh-oh, they're running to the fire.
And
there must be a fire somewhere.
Unfortunately, on occasion, our volunteers are called into duty, and it looks like that's exactly what we have occurring here. And hopefully they'll be at the scene on time, and they will be doing what they do best, that is to protect person and property.
This is the Woodbridge Dare unit coming in view now, Jim. This group was founded in September 1990. It stands for Drug Awareness Resistance Education. Detective Sue McNamara is the leader of this organization. And she has fellow officers Jim Thorne, who started the program, Detective Sue McNamara, Jim Magic, Dominic Rossetti, and other Dare officers.
Charlie, and this is a group, you know, it started with the Woodbridge Police Department, but basically, as it stands for, it's a drug awareness program. And what they do is they go into the middle schools and really do a terrific job educating kids early on about drugs, dangers of drugs. And on behalf of the community, on behalf of all the parents, we'd like to extend a big thank you to all the effort that you extend. And you know, every year, too, Charlie, the turnout by the kids and by the parents for the DARE program is always pretty impressive.
Well, each school has a representation. Like there's School 18 from Island, School 14 from Fords.
We'll see all of the district or the sections here of Woodbridge represented in supporting the DARE programs that are out there. Is Craig Coughlin,
Yeah.
who lives in the Ford section of town and is a counselor here to the council in Woodbridge. I know he is marching with his son Vincent.
School
Port
9,
Reading, School 9.
Ross Street, that's School 11.
And that's right in Woodbridge proper here, the Ross Street School.
They seem to be having a good time next
A lot of
right?
smiling faces.
And if you notice, Jim, look how they separated when they get down here, right? I mean, they paid attention to their direction to keep.
Makes it a lot easier on us.
Hazmat.
That is the Woodbridge Hazmat truck that just passed out of you, Charlie. Hazardous Materials Handling Group.
And there's a sheet here that says Raritan Bay Cruises presents Wednesday night cruise night. So every Wednesday night beginning May 14th, 6 to 9 p.m.
Okay, we're going to go back to John Eberhart. With him is Miss American Irish, Teresa Campbell, and her lady-in-waiting, Kelly McCaffrey. John?
Thank you, Jim. And with me, Teresa, is our American Irish Lady of the Year.
Hello.
Did I get that right?
Yes.
Okay. How do you like the parade so far?
It was great. I had a lot of fun in the car with Kelly and Katie. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, and you're her lady in waiting, I understand?
I am.
But you get to be a big part of the parade.
Yes. I get to ride with her, and then next year I take her spot. And it's a lot of fun waving to all the people, and it was a lot of fun in the car with her and Katie. And
Great. Let's give everybody out there a wave. And we'll all wish Erin go bra. And you're supposed to give a plug in for Tom Henderson,
okay.
aren't you? The great treasurer, right?
He's
Okay.
a great treasure, great part of the club, and
And we also need a hi mom, right?
hi, Mom.
Hi mom. Okay. Thank you. Back to you, Jim.
Great job, girls. You're put on the spot. Tom Henderson must be along the sidewalk there looking for a plug, as he typically does.
Picking up the candy, probably.
He, as Teresa indicated, she was the lady-in-waiting last year and moves up to Miss American Irish, and next year it'll be Kelly, Charlie.
Yeah, and Jim, just passing by is first time in the parade is Woodbridge school buses. They put two. These are brand new buses. You could see they're brand new, and they have a group of 25 to 30 drivers that participating.
Charlie, you know, I just wanted to mention briefly that the Middlesex County Office of Emergency Management, which will be coming up shortly after the events of 9/11. Apparently, they did a lot of work in New York City, and unfortunately, since 9/11, you know, our local, the Woodbridge Hazmat, that's something that they're very mindful of. And then in this day and age, we really look to them to kind of protect us a little bit more and look out for our welfare. So we extend a lot of gratitude to all of you as well.
This is the Birthday Boy First Aid Squad. They were organized in 1936 under the leadership of Manny Rivera. He's the president. And then that's the 4+2 musical group. They've been with us for many years.
And there's one of the emergency response vehicles. That's the Middlesex County Emergency Management. Apparently, they transported and provided over 200 police officers from Middlesex County to assist the New York City Police Department right after the events of 9/11, Charlie.
I know. That was really tragic then. My son was over there right after with the state police.
And for Charlie's son is a state police officer and has been, Robert, for how many years now, Charlie?
8.
Right.
8 years with the state.
So for all the policemen and firemen, and we know that many of the local men and women were involved either directly after the events of 9/11 or indirectly by way of support. And on behalf of the community, a big thank you to all of you. And a little
Happy
Spider-Man.
kid. Yeah, with Spider-Man. I just saw Scott Flowers still giving out candy along the route. Where's his truck? A refill of candy.
This should be Cub pack number 53, I believe, Charlie. Assuming there wasn't a change in the line of march,
There may
which
have been a
happens
few-
on occasion.
I think this is Cub Scout. Let's see. Yep.
It is 53.
They were organized in 1952. This is they celebrated their 50th year. They're out of Our Lady of Peace Church in Fords. Cub Master is Jim Leonardo.
And in view right now, or we're going to go to John Eberhard again with Council President Charlie Kenny. John?
Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Jim. With me is Council President Charlie Kenny. You guys just pulled up and suddenly you guys had to leave for an emergency?
Timing's everything. That's what they say. Believe it or not, they had an alarm right around the corner from where we're at the VFW. And so the guys jumped out of line that were assigned apparatus and jumped on the apparatus and went around the corner to go check out what was going on. But as I look around the building, I see the VFW still standing. So that means it must not have been a fire.
So you guys did a good job.
They did a good job. That's right.
Talk about a fast response time.
I know, you can't get much better than that. The only problem was the road was blocked off. We were separating the people. It's like part of the Red Sea. They didn't know what was going on. So
Charlie, how do you like the parade so far?
it's a beautiful day for the parade. You know, you couldn't beat the weather. It's fantastic, the best we've had in a while. People are out. People are along the main road here on the side streets. They're waving. They're happy. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Thank you. Back to you, and in the nice warm booth. Back to you, Charlie, and back to you, Jim.
Thank you, John. And it is warm. Remember, I offered you my coat, and the offer still stands. Thanks, Council President Charlie Kenny, who's doing a terrific job up there as Council President. And it's nice to hear that when the fire department had to peel off, that there was no injuries or no property damage. So that was good to hear.
Yeah, while that interview was being taking place, Ford's Fire Company went by and they told me last year they didn't get on because there was an interview, but the fire chief is John Evan.
Okay, and if we can, we'll try to mention the groups that pass out of the camera's view while we're doing an interview. And this is the second high school marching band here from Woodbridge Township, and this is the Colonia Marching Patriots. Let's listen in a bit to them, Charlie. They were under the leadership of Jeff Nordell, who's the band director, and Lisa Erkeline, color guard director.
Drum major is Amanda Doherty. Assistant drum major is Dan Suarez. Color guard captain, Caitlin Hogelmeyer.
Charlie.
Captains Tanner Martin and Paula Pally.
Here's another one of our Cub Scout pack. That's number 143. Under the leadership of Mary Kozlauskas, Cub Master. Mary, I hope I got your name right.
And they won first place in the Christmas parade in their category. This is the Terror Pet.
Charlie, this is another group. They've marched with us for a number of years. They were established back in 1989, and it's an interesting group. They volunteer to take their pets into nursing homes and hospital to perform animal-assisted therapy. And I guess, you know, there have been some studies that show that shut-ins and people in nursing homes, that pets, a friendly pet can work wonders.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen it at the hospital, what they do, because the patients, they need something to cheer them up, and most times, so when a pet comes in, they're really happy about it. And that group is under the leadership of Elaine Shue. She's the president.
And here comes the Colonia Fire Department, District number 12, under the leadership of Chief Mike Mackey, who are just passing and back in our camera's view. Some happy, smiling faces there. I'm sure they're smiling extra because there's no rain, there's no sleet, there's no wet snow. Just a beautiful early March day. And Charlie, as you can see along the right side of the camera's view, turnout, which counts so much, depends so much upon the weather, this year is particularly good along Main Street.
Because if you remember, Charlie Kenny said walking along the route, there was quite a few people.
And I do note, though, that most everybody's on the sunny side of the street, and the shadowy side of the street looks a little thin. There's our cameraman up in the bucket. We'd like to say hello to him. He's all strapped in there. Make sure the wind doesn't knock him out.
Yeah, he's going to be on Fear Factor, he was telling me. His stunt is to jump off there. Everybody say 1, 2, 3. I think this is the Avenel Middle School Wildcat Color Guard.
There we have some of the children along the parade route and enjoying the parade, hoping for a little more candy to be thrown in their direction. And Spider-Man seems to be a big hit this year. That's about the second or third Spider-Man we've seen.
Jim, your eyes are better than mine. Does that say Color Guard, Wildcat Color Guard?
Indeed, it is the Wildcats Color Guard
So that's the
of Avenel Middle School.
what they're trying to do is to get all the middle schools to have a drill team like this or a color guard like this, which would be fantastic.
Now, apparently, they just performed at their first competition. They're an indoor competing color guard, and they are the first middle school color guard that hopefully will continue to grow. That's what they're hoping to do. So we give you ladies a lot of credit. First middle school color guard unit here.
Yeah, and
Woodbridge.
I think they have one of the better principals in the school system, Gary Kuzniak. Actually told me to say that, so I'll say it.
SpongeBob. And with them are their leaders, Jennifer Inestroza, Beth Sinkowitz, and Christine Aminone. All Irish, I would say, by those surnames, Charlie.
At least their first names. I see smoke in the back. That must be that group from Rhode Island. Colonia First Aid Squad. And their leader is Kathleen Curran. They were founded in 1941. And as you know, all the first aid squads do a great job. And Colonia is one of the few that really, they have volunteers.
So again, for all the volunteers who spend their time and effort, a big thank you, really on behalf of the entire Woodbridge community.
This is a new group. 2nd Rhode Island Infantry Volunteer Company D, organized 1993, Civil War reenactment, living history, under the leadership of Bob Costello.
And apparently, Charlie, they do Civil War reenactments throughout the area. And they were the group that fired a volley and are going to fire, I think at the cameraman, they look like they're looking in his direction. Uh-oh.
See if Eberhardt's still out there. Oh, they look sharp.
At least every year we've gotten to anticipate that they're coming. I think the first year that they did that, we nearly fell out of the chairs.
Actually, they started the parade today with the same volley of fire.
And Charlie, we've got, I guess this is our 5th bagpipe band, the Somerset County Police and Fire Pipes and Drum, under the leadership of Band Major George Murphy Sr. A lot of the pipe and drum groups are affiliated with police and firemen.
This is the group Tommy McGovern's with. He's a Woodbridge police officer, and he's with this group. Maybe we can point him out.
And in view now, we can still hear the pipes in the background, but we see the Avenel Fire Company #1, which hails from another section of Woodbridge Township, the Avenel section, where our mayor, Frank Belsman, resides, and he was actually the ward councilman from there, Charlie.
Yes, and the chief is Keith 80, and they were founded in 1913.
You know, Charlie, we have and St. Patrick's Day parades across the country typically have a number of bagpipe bands that are in the parade. They become so associated with the Irish, but really the bagpipes that are used in the parades here in the United States are the Scottish bagpipes or the Scottish war pipes. They were used in Scotland to strike fear into the hearts of their enemy as the army would be coming over the hill. They were preceded by the pipers, the Scottish bagpipers, with their war pipes. And the Irish instrument is actually a smaller, called the Uilleann pipes, and it's actually a parlor instrument. Did you know that?
No, I didn't
Irishman
know it.
that you are?
I know it. You hear the bagpipe, it definitely frightens you a little bit.
That's okay, Charlie. There's a number of Irish out there that don't have their Irish history down. I won't mention names.
I'll have to ask Margaret that. She's from Ireland.
Margaret would know. Your wife, Margaret, would definitely know. And actually, I wouldn't know, except I have this wonderful book here that talks about those kinds of things. We have the Avenel Colonia First Aid Squad. Again, an all-volunteer first aid squad, 100% volunteers. And as a resident of Colonia, we'd certainly, Charlie and I, both of us, would like to thank you for your volunteer efforts. And just remember, you know, when our volunteer firemen and rescue operators are out there on occasion, they'll do a fundraising drive. They do need to keep their equipment operating. They've got to update equipment on occasion. So just keep that in mind when you get those envelopes or when you see some kind of door-to-door solicitation by them. It's actually to make sure that they keep their equipment up and operating so that they can better take care of all of us.
How would you pronounce that, Jim? Leah Fowle?
Leah Fowle.
Leah Fowle. They're a new group with us this year. They're from Mercer County. And John Devaney is their leader.
And their kilt is a new Irish kilt from County Donegal.
They're not only new in our parade, they're fairly new. They organized January of '01. Look pretty good, too. And here's Remax. It's also one of our sponsors this year. They're located at 10 Main Street in Woodbridge, across from Woodbridge Municipal Building. They're also opening an office in Asbury Park, serving the Jersey Shore area. So thanks, Remax, for your support.
And they put together a nice little float there. And as Charlie said, again, thank you for your support. You make the parade possible. And this looks like one of several of our car clubs. The Raritan Bay Cruisers, I believe. They should have about 10 to 15 cars under the leadership of Daniel Mady, who is their president.
This is the 5th division, by the way, Jim. We have another division following this one, so we're in our 5th division.
I believe the group coming into view now is a new group, Charlie, the International Martial Arts Group.
Is that Jimmy Carroll in that orange sweatsuit? See how demonstrating his moves?
Yeah, actually, he had to loop back around from the reviewing stand, change his suit, and get out there and show some of his martial art technique.
Yeah, they were organized January this year. And they're on Amboy Avenue in Woodbridge.
So not only are they brand new to our parade, they're brand new, period.
The chief instructor is El Sheikh. Could you pronounce that name, James? Instructor El Sheikh?
El Sheikh.
Yeah. He certainly has
Looks
a lot
good
of
to me.
awards. Yeah, he got a lot of awards for different, since '98. You know, maybe that's not Jim Carroll. That may be John Eberhard. What do you think?
And putting on a little show for us here while there's a little bit of a pause in the parade.
Yeah, you and I were talking before about how the club was founded, you know, with Joe Jackson and Mike McGovern. 1966, they got together and said, let's start an Irish organization in Woodbridge. And here we are all these years later. But it was Mike McGovern and Joe Jackson who founded this organization. And Justin McCarthy is one of the original members. I think your mother is.
My mother's one of the original members as well.
I joined 31 years ago.
I'm a member for 20 years now.
So most of our members are longevity.
Getting up there.
I know.
Anybody new out there who's interested? You can see us at the post-parade party anywhere during the parade. There's Fred Lahote's Ragtimers. Charlie, they've been with us for a number of years.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're founded in 1968, so they may have been with us from the beginning. Or maybe not the first parade, but close to it. Oh, it says 11th year in the parade. Since 1992. They performed in 100 concerts and 18 parades this year.
So obviously a very active group, and they sound in good voice. And in view now are the color guard from the Island VFW Post 2636, I believe. Or I'm sorry, that's the Hope Lawn Engine Company #1. My apologies. We do have changes in the line of march on occasion. They're under the leadership of K. William Hepidus, who is the chief.
Yeah, Hepidus.
And Bruce Turcott, who's their president.
And they also have an Explorer Post #8 of Hope Lawn Engine Company is marching with them. That's comprised of 14, 18-year-olds who were able to ride on the engine. They were founded in 1914. We have a lot of old organized fire companies. I mean, that's a while ago. So that's great. That's a tribute to our township that we still have organizations that are that old and still do a great job.
And Charlie, again, this is one of the all-volunteer fire departments. I have some young folks having a good time distributing candy to the little ones, the wee ones along the line of march. You know, Charlie, I just wanted, while we have a pause here, to mention and say thank you to the Woodbridge Police Department. They're out in full force here, making sure that things move smoothly. I see a number of the bike patrol officers are out there. So Chief Bill Trenery and Deputy Chief Phil DiNicola and all the policemen and women that are working here today, we appreciate your help and assistance in making sure that this parade goes smoothly.
This is the beginning of the 6th Division, and this is, of course, is Kennedy Band. Under leadership of Ken Hunt.
In a fine-looking group, appropriately decked out in green and white. And Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, I think this group has been to Ireland to eat over in Ireland. And here's the Union High School U.S. Army Junior ROTC under the leadership of Cadet Colonel Justin Grindell. They are a battalion drill team unit and color guard unit.
And I know they've won numerous trophies in our parade, and they always look well. I know I've been to their school to present them with plaques or whatever, and they're very appreciative, and I mean, this is what youth should be, like these kids.
Well, apparently they are a nationally ranked drill team unit, and they wear the Army dress blue uniform. And Charlie, as you indicated, very handsome looking group, very professional looking group. And we welcome all of you once again to our 30th annual St. Patrick's Day Parade here in Woodbridge.
Like Jim said before, a lot of times some groups don't show up and they move them around. Unfortunately, we're the last to know. So what we see in front of us is a surprise a lot of times. So
And while we have a little pause here, I wanted to mention once again our thanks to Mayor Frank Pelsman and the council for their support. Council President Charlie Kenny, who was interviewed earlier. Councilwoman Pat Osborne, Carolyn Ehrlich, Brenda Velasco, as well as Jim Carroll, our Grand Marshal, Bob Luban, who we saw earlier, Rick Delina, Kevin Wirtz, and Benny Martino.
as well as our freeholders who help us a lot too. I mean, a lot of this stuff wouldn't go on without the help of many, many people, and that includes the freeholders, in particular Pete Delina.
Pete Delina, who hails from the Ford section of Woodbridge. Pete, who had some health problems a while back, but appears to be on the mend and bouncing back to his usual jocular self.
And our school board, I mean, it's probably one of the finest in the state under the new leadership of Vinnie Smith. I know they're doing a great job to, there's only so much we could do with so much money, and they're doing a great job in providing education under these troubled times and conditions. And how about Lee Beckerman? What a great job he does year after year, right?
Lee Beckerman and all the
his
staff at Channel
Great.
35. We look forward to working together with you every year. And every year the parade looks just terrific.
And how about a thank you for the Chamber of Commerce too, Jim? I mean, because this is the first year we're over here, well, in a long time.
That's right. Our host this year is the Chamber of Commerce here in Woodbridge.
Carol Hyla. We want to
Carol
thank her.
Hyla. Charlie and I get to be afforded the opportunity of being in a nice, warm environment here, unlike John Eberhart. And in view right now is the New Jersey Cruisers. They were organized in June of 2000, which I guess is the year they would have had to have been organized, because, Charlie, if I'm not mistaken, this uniquely styled car, the PT Cruiser, has not been around for all that long.
No, it's a new...
It's a new design. Very popular car. Supposed to be a very safe car.
I know, I think Mara Motors sells the Cruisers. And they also help us by taking ad every year. So if you're in the neighborhood, buy a Cruiser.
And apparently in 2002, they won the best mobile unit in the Woodbridge St. Patrick's Day Parade. So good luck to you again. And again, you know that owners take quite a bit of time to deck their cars out in shamrocks and garland and the tricolor. Tricolor being the three colors of the Irish flag.
Tricolor. Being 6'3", I don't think I could fit in it, Jim. I don't know. I'm a little tall for that car, but it's a nice car, that's for sure.
I think we'd have to take out the front seat, and you'd have to probably sit in the back seat and drive from there.
I'll let my wife drive it, and I'll sit in the back. They say they have 20 vehicles, but does it seem like more than that?
One of many car clubs. We always have about 3 or 4 car clubs, Charlie.
Yeah, at least. Well, I think we're really getting now down to the last few groups. We're in the 6th division. I'm curious to see this Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla. That's a float that's going to be coming up. We got to be ready to.
There's a rainbow float. Somebody took a lot of time and effort to put that together on that PT Cruiser.
We got to remember, we got to name all the marshals that helped get these groups out on the street. They'll be coming up pretty soon.
That's right. The unsung heroes of the parade are most of them association members. I think actually all of them, Charlie, that assemble at Woodbridge High School and make sure that everybody gets out on time and in order so that when we're doing the announcement from here, Justin McCarthy's doing the announcement from the reviewing stand, that we know who's coming along. And they keep this parade moving. That's the Carteret First Aid Squad that was just in view.
Raymond Zeddy is the captain of the Carteret First Aid Squad, and they were organized in November 1934. Again, I want to thank Remax and High Grade Beverage for helping us financially put this parade on the street, because it does cost our organization money to do this.
And again, all the business people and actually the individual boosters that took out an ad or a booster in our ad book, thank you so much, because without the financial support, all the work effort in the world is not going to put this parade on the street. This is the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla. And they have one of their small patrol boats on that trailer there.
Yeah, it's under the leadership of George Riley, who is from Colonia.
And that particular group, Charlie, also worked 9/11 in New York Harbor.
They want $5, guys. Check them out.
Charlie, why don't you mention a little bit about the membership in the American Irish Association? About how many members do we have right now?
250. And we meet the second Friday of every month at the Avenel Knights of Columbus. It's a nice hall, and our dues are very reasonable. $9 for a single person, $16 for husband and wife. And as you can see, this is probably our biggest event, putting on this parade, but we do a lot of things in the community, such as going to the veterans home, doing bingos, and having picnics for the people at that home, the soldiers. And we sponsor children from Northern Ireland. We help at a soup kitchen in Perth Amboy once a month. We take turns doing that. It's always my turn. No, we get a lot of help. And
we also run a dance every year. The St. Patrick's Day dance this year, Charlie, was the 37th?
37th dance. And I think it went very well. We have the cocktail party.
And we had a good turnout this year for the association cocktail party, which is basically a 2-hour event. We get to introduce our Grand Marshal, our Irish Person of the Year, and again this year, Jimmy Carroll, Sister Susan.
And guaranteed to have a lot of fun, meet people, meet good, friendly people, and have a good time. And hopefully, and you don't have to be Irish, but it's an Irish organization, but you don't have to be Irish to join.
Rocco! Go!
We're trying to figure out what unit this is, right, Jim? I can't see the sign.
Apparently one of our rescue squad or fire units. And again, there goes the Coast Guard. small boat.
Yeah, and I'd also like to thank Sansone for supplying several of the cars to put dignitaries or some of our members that couldn't walk. Like Arlene Fresher, she wasn't able to walk, so I think she may have had one of Sansone cars. Lou Huber also, who, because they march as a group, it's hard to pick them out. Lou Huber, as you know, is the president of the Board of Education. Judy Leidner.
And this is District 4 from Caseby, another section of Woodbridge Township. Fire Department. That's currently in our view.
Dalrita Pipe Band. And behind them, I think, are the marshals of our parade.
They're under the leadership, this particular pipe band, Charlie, of Pipe Major Chris Jones, and should be our final bagpipe group. And Charlie, as you mentioned, behind them are the behind-the-scenes workers, the parade marshals.
Oh yeah, Chuck Lewis came all the way up from Tennessee to be in the parade today. He's one of our past Grand Marshals, as you know. I think he was 1985.
Another fine-looking pipe group. And here's our Grand Marshals bringing up the rear of the parade, waving it to the camera right now. There's Maureen. I see Mary Alice Jacko. And there's my fiance, Kathy Hall, who I met at the Irish Club.
George
Aston. And George Aston, I think, has been a parade marshal for a number of years. Kathy Hall, I think, for 4 years now. We thank all the marshals. You do a lot of hard work behind the scenes there. Okay, we're coming down.
There's Frank Thupman. How do you get behind that truck?
End of the parade. And in closing, we'd like to give a special thank you to Channel 35. It's always a pleasure to work with them every year. Lee Beckerman, Gina Forbes, Joe Masbari, Emil Brandolfi, Joe Fernandez, Bruno Martins, and Joanne Bola. Thank you all very much. Hope everybody out there enjoyed the parade, and happy St. Patrick's Day.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, and we hope to see you all next year.